Well, Alan, going on what we saw at the weigh-in earlier today, I wouldn't hold out a great deal of hope, really. Would you, for Cruzat?
Well, you know, this is boxing, Steve. You know, you can't write off anybody in the boxing ring. You know, one looks strong, much stronger than the other, but you just don't know. I mean, one punch can finish the fight. It's just, that's the way it is in this game.
Yes, of course. And yeah, one of the things I'm really getting to is the lack of appearances on the Cruzat record. You know, only having his second fight of the year. Had one fight last year, didn't fight at all the year before, only two the year before that, so it's been very, very patchy, hasn't it?
Yeah, there must be a reason. Probably, you know, he didn't fancy it, and now he wants to try and get the championship.
Or earn a few quid.
Yeah.
And Cruzat, by the way, made his, I think he had his first, 20-odd fights in America before reverting to his homeland of Chile. And he boxed once in France and got a win, by the way. And as Alan said, any man who can go 10 rounds with Mike McCallum, especially nearly 15 years ago, deserves some respect.
Absolutely, you know, and I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something, Steve. Cruzat, he's not looking bad at the moment. I mean, you've got the other guy with all that muscle on him, a southpaw, and yet isn't doing anything to take authority. You've got Cruzat holding the centre of the ring and boxing very well.
But they do, don't they, Alan? They box on memory an awful lot of the time, these guys. But of course, when they come under pressure in this state, yeah, that's when it starts to show, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a fair comment. But you know, the champion just threw a nice right hand, left hand, and called Cruzat. But he's still there, the kid. He's still there. Flicking at his jab. There's no authority with his punching power. That's the problem.
Yes.
He's throwing the jab, and that's all he's doing.
Well, let's just see what happens then when Arslan starts to turn up the heat a wee bit here against Cruzat. But until that, as Alan has so rightly said, a fairly comfortable start here for the Chilean. So Carlos Cruzat in the red shorts and the challenger for this particular title. He has actually held titles in the past, by the way, but interestingly, he has been stopped in 3 of his 6 defeats. Although Mike McCallum couldn't stop him in 10 rounds.
No, so you know, all due respect, he must have something. He must have something. Whether it's he's got a good guard or had a good guard in his time, I don't know.
Yeah, but that was as a middleweight, sort of middle come super, in fact, super middleweight then. But he's gone up in the weights, in fact, in the last 5 years.
Yeah, and as we were saying earlier on, Steve, you know, he's not been boxing regular, you know, and I suppose putting on a little bit of weight and coming back, trying to get himself in shape and taking on the WBU champion is a fair task.
Indeed. So Firat Arslan, the reigning WBO Intercontinental Champion in the black shorts. First defence, there's 20 seconds to go or so of round 1. And really not much to pick between them, Alan. No. They've both had their moments, haven't they?
Yeah, nothing in it. You know, you probably give it an even round. Or maybe the guy in the red shorts, he might, you know, he nicked that round. He's probably nicked.
Yeah, okay, we'll give it to him. But it's probably the only one who's going to win, isn't it? You never know. So 10-9 then, Carlos Cruzat winning the first round. As I say, he's been a pro for almost 10 years longer than Firat Arslan, the Turkish southpaw, but based, as I say, in Rottweil now with his mucker, Luan Krasniqi, the former European heavyweight champion, on more than one occasion, by the way. And just to remind you, Arslan, he fought Chris Wallace. Now, the reason I actually mentioned Chris Wallace, he stopped Chris in 2 rounds, is that I often get a phone call from Chris's dad. So that's the only reason I mentioned that. Anyway, there's Arslan, the reigning and defending champion. First defence for him, never been in this position before. He did actually win the German championship at his second attempt. Round 2 coming up. So, here we go. Let's just see what Cruzat can do. He is in the red shorts, of course, and from Chile. Alan, what would you do in Cruzat's position? Not that he'd ever be in that position, but, you know, I mean, try and transplant your mind.
Well, you know, he's doing the right thing. He's putting the pressure on the southpaw. But what you got to understand, Arslan, the southpaw, the champion, is, you know, if he, I was just going to say, if he could stick out that right jab and keep on the right jab and throw them left hooks, he will accomplish something. But all he was doing the previous was just letting
Cruzat,
you know, just throw punches. But you know, either fighter, there's no power coming from either of them at the moment. Beautiful body shot there.
Absolutely. Yes, it did make a big difference. And they always say, Alan, when you get a southpaw against an orthodox fighter, the man who sets the pace tends to dictate things, doesn't he?
That's right, yeah.
Because you've got to take away your opponent's advantages.
Yeah. See again, being the southpaw and Cruzat coming pushing the southpaw back, it should suit the southpaw.
Yeah.
Because being a southpaw, you are a counter puncher. And beautiful jab by him when he wants to throw it.
That doesn't really hold true with all southpaws, though, Alan, because if you cast your mind back to Willie Dan, who we saw a moment ago, a very lovely boxing southpaw. I mean, there's nothing really counter-punchy about him, was there?
So, yeah, but then he wasn't fighting anyone with that had the authority to put him
back.
Yeah, to put him under any pressure. So then the southpaw, it suited the southpaw.
Okay.
If he was fighting someone that could punch with either hand, then a southpaw would like them to keep coming forward.
Understood. Right, there you go, there's the explanation. And, well, it's getting a wee bit tighter, this one now. And Carlos Cruzat in the red is still looking pretty happy out there. This one, by the way, is scheduled for 12 rounds, which is probably twice as long as it should be for a WBO Intercontinental title fight, as I've said many times before. If they cut it to 6, it wouldn't bother me in the least. But to try and put this in the same bracket, Alan, as a proper world championship, that's a bit daft, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you know, to them, to these boys, one's the champion of the world, one's fighting, trying to get the title. It's a big boost for them. You know, there's nothing better, whether it be WBU, WBO, or whatever. It's still a championship of the world, so it's a big honour for these two men to battle it out, to hopefully try and get that belt round either one's waist at the end of the fight.
Okay, well, nice little finish here from Cruzat. Of course, I remember the days when you boxed over 15 rounds. Those are the days.
Oh man, I'll tell you something. It went from 15 to 12, and it went. Funny enough, when I boxed the Italian in Italy, and it wasn't too well after the fight.
Angelo Jacopucci.
Yeah, Angelo Jacopucci. They decided to take the fights from 15 to 12.
Right, Alan, sorry, you were talking about Angelo Jacopucci, the Italian.
Fought Angelo Jacopucci in Milan, in Rimini, in Italy, and stopped him in 8 rounds, and you know, he never recovered. Well, he did recover because I went out for a meal with him, but it wasn't until I got home that he had died of a brain drug.
Terrible shame, yeah.
Oh, it broke my heart, and they decided then they would take the fights away from 15 rounds and put them to 12. But you know, 12 rounds is still a long time. But,
absolutely right. But we've all done it in the gym, haven't we?
Yeah.
Right, round 3 then, and I hate to say this, Alan, and I hope I'm not arguing with you too much, but Carlos Cruzat looks like he might have nicked the first couple of rounds, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, he's done everything asked of him. I mean, the other guy's not put a great deal of pressure on him, but he's quite comfortable doing what he's doing. He's standing close and throwing the odd body shot and jabs and they're landing, so he's scoring all the time. But the champion, I mean, once he starts, yeah, beautiful left-right. Once he starts getting the jab, he looks the part. But he's not. He just doesn't do enough work.
Absolutely.
At this stage.
Yeah, and Cruzat, one of those old-timers, and I say old-timers, only a year older than, of course, than the champion, but one of those guys who just knows instinctively what to do, isn't he?
Well, absolutely. I mean, you know, he's got a long record. Both fighters have got good records. And but you know, if he's standing there, doesn't have to dance around behind the jab, and he's quite comfortable in doing what he's doing, taking up the centre of the ring, throwing punches when he wants to throw punches, and he's not getting hurt, it's ideal for him.
Absolutely, and I think the turning point in this particular fight will come when we see Cruzat backing off, because Arslan's putting him under pressure, both with the weight of his punches and, of course, tactics. And that's when we'll see, I think, a decline in Cruzat, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it could be. It could be.
If it happens.
Yeah, well, that's right. If it happens, or if unless he gets hold of the champion. But you know, the champion at the moment is just standing with Cruzat, not throwing any punches with authority. A couple of little jabs, a couple of right crosses, which are landing. But Cruzat is quite happy just to stand there and do his own little thing.
Indeed. Well, the swapping punches now on a fairly regular basis here, these two. And Firat Arslan, I think this is the kind of fight that people enjoy, and that fighters enjoy, Alan, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And you know, especially the spectators, because they're fairly hard punches, you know, and you're waiting who's gonna land the right and proper punch, who's gonna finish the fight out of the two.
Absolutely. Well, good uppercuts being picked here by Arslan.
Beautiful uppercuts by both fighters.
But that doesn't seem to bother Cruzat, does it?
Well, you know, obviously he can't. He's too big, and let's say floppy is a rude word. We know that because he's probably trained very, very hard. He's not capable, I wouldn't have thought, of dancing around the ring behind the jab. Now the champion's coming back into the fight with his own jabs, but it's still touch and go. Who's won the round?
Absolutely,
you know,
right.
One throws a jab and two jabs and three jabs right now, and a right cross. Then the other one comes and throws a few punches back to even the round again. Absolutely right.
So there you are then. Not much between them here in the third round, but I think on quality punch, Alan, would it be fair to give Arslan that round just about?
Well, you know, he's throwing 1, 2, 3 jabs, a right cross, but then the challenger is coming back close, uppercuts, right crosses to even the round. You know, I mean,
I'll call it even then.
If you give it to the champion, it's only marginally.
Right, still a 2-point gap then, and well, there's the challenger for the title. I wonder if he dyes his hair. He's 36 years of age now. Probably not. So it's actually been an awful lot better than I anticipated. When you look at the bare statistics of both men, actually the fight's a lot better than it should be.
Yeah, I mean, but both men are trying, you know, and that's what it's all about, boxing. I mean, they're in front of I was going to say, a massive crowd, a beautiful crowd there. So they're going to show the best they can.
Absolutely. And Cruzat trying to get himself down to heavyweight, but he's fighting here at cruiser. And this is round 4 of a scheduled 12. Now, whether we get the 12 out of this, I really don't know. So, anyway, I've given round 3 level, you know, with Alan's advice, of course. Gave Cruzat the first couple.
Now, that was lovely. That was a lovely right jab, just right on the button.
Do you think we're looking at a turning point now? Because it's the first time we've seen Cruzat being pushed into the corner under pressure.
Yeah, I would have thought that his cornermen have said, listen, you're winning nothing by what you're doing. You've got to go out and do what you know best. Get behind the jab, score points, and throw the odd left hand in, which is great, which he's starting to do.
Yes, and like we alluded to in the previous round, Alan, it's the first time we've seen Cruzat being pushed backwards.
He's being pushed back. He doesn't, you know, and this is what happens when you're being pushed back and taking punches. You know, it can break your heart, or there again, it can make you fight even more determined.
Absolutely. Inset there of the former European heavyweight champion Luan Krasniqi, and well, did, as I say, allude in the previous round to the moment that Cruzat got himself pushed back, and I've got a feeling now this is going to be an uphill battle here for Cruzat.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, the champion is dominating with the jab at the moment. Lovely jab he's got when he puts it together.
Yeah.
Nice and accurate, nice and long. Beautiful jab again. And you know, and try the left hook to the body. Now he's complaining, but he's doing everything right, the champion.
That's right. And of course, winning this title actually gave Arslan a great deal of confidence, beating the undefeated Petkovic and winning a championship to boot. And of course, he wants to keep it.
That's right. I mean,
a bit of blood down the nose. In fact, I think the right eye of Carlos Cruzat. Have a look at that. A closer look. But this is a good round now for Arslan, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's boxing brilliant. He's, you know, not taking too much, putting nice punches in. Two lovely right hands there, very unusual for a southpaw. They normally come behind the jab, and he's just tried that left cross, which unfortunately missed. But both fighters are putting in some lovely punches.
Yep, and the blood's still flowing from the right eye here of Carlos Cruzat, who's got a nick on the corner of the eye. Something you're very familiar with, of course, Alan.
Yeah,
blood all over your face.
Yeah, and when I used to get cut, I used to think, oh no, not again. But then life's got to go on, and
Sure.
you try and finish it as quick as possible.
So Cruzat then, he did complain of a clash of heads about a minute ago, and it may well have been, who knows, but it's something he's got to cope with now.
Yeah, I mean, both the way they're fighting, but head to head, very, very close. You know, it doesn't take a lot. A little clash of the heads, anything can happen, and it's happened there.
Indeed. So around 38 points, 39 to Cruzat, who's still in the lead by a single point.
Yeah.
Bit of replay here then from the full session. The first round we've actually given to Firat Arslan. They made a pretty steady start here, just possibly having a look to see what Cruzat had to offer. And he put his shots together quite well, pushed Cruzat back, caught him with the head, caused a cut in the right eye. And that's probably put him out in pretty good fine fettle at the moment, Alan.
Yeah, I suppose, you know, what he's done, he started from the first round, obviously, to look and see what sort of power his challenger's got, and he started coming back with his nice jabs, and he knows what he can do. He knows he can beat the challenger.
Come on, Box.
So round 5 it is then, and well, just heard Alan say that he's going to probably capitalise on that good fourth round here. And of course the cut on the right eyebrow of Carlos Cruzat won't help his cause any, because cuts don't get better, do they? Not in a fight.
Well, you know, hopefully, as you just said, Steve, the cut is on the side of the eye, so it's not going to affect his vision. You know, when it's above your eye and your eyebrow's cut and the blood starts flowing, you haven't got a chance. But he seems okay. You know, he's not rushing in and to try to knock the champion out, or, you know, trying to get revenge. He's taking his time like he did in the first and second round.
Sure. Just remind people of Carlos Cruzat's record: 30 wins, 6 losses, 22 wins inside the limit, and Arslan's won 23, lost 3, drawn 1, and stopped 16. So there's, you know, there's a fair bit between them. This is fight number 37 for Cruzat, number 28 for Firat Arslan. And as I say, there was almost 10 years between them turning pro. Cruzat, of course, turned pro back in 1988, and Arslan in 1997. So there's not an awful lot of similarity between these two, but he has belied his condition, hasn't he, Cruzat?
Yeah, I mean, looking at this now, Arfan, the champion, you know, when he starts putting his punches together, he looks brilliant, you know. But the challenger, he's taken a few, but is experienced enough to nullify the champion's punches, and at times he put his punches together and sort of equal the round.
Yeah.
So it's anybody's fight at the moment.
A lot of tough South Americans out there, aren't there?
Oh, listen, oh man, in the world of boxing today, there's some great fighters. You know, we never hear about, but they're out there and waiting for their chance to show the world what they are and what they can do.
So, less than a minute to go then here in round 5, and Cruzat giving as good as he's getting in this particular round, but as Alan said, the pace has been upped here by Arslan now, and the experience of Cruzat, of course, standing him in pretty good stead here. He's managing to take or cuff away some of the punches here from Arslan, but he can't, of course, stop them all.
No, I mean, there was a lovely shot Arslan, and then Cruzat, you know, when he puts his punches together, he's landing, and he's landing them well. He does look good, but the champion all of a sudden throw a quick couple of jabs, and to put himself back in the position of keeping the championship.
Absolutely right. Lovely uppercut there.
Beautiful uppercut.
And of course, a fight like this, it's made for uppercuts, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, anyone that throws an uppercut in a fight like this is dangerous.
Arslan for you to level things up?
Yeah.
So 48 points each then, 5 gone. and potentially 7 to go. Going to replay here then from the 5th round. That was a good left cross, and just a scything sort of cuffing punch back. And there's the end swell being applied. You'd have had that on your face a few times, right, wouldn't you?
Well, saying that, Steve, I don't think they were about when I was fighting.
Is that a fact?
I don't know. You know, I think they might have had a little steel, like a flat steel, which they pulled out of the ice bucket and stuck on your eye. But
yeah, I mean, they're all shapes and sizes these days, aren't they?
These are all modern day stuff. It's like, you know, technology. You know,
but there's not much you could do in boxing, is there, technologically wise?
Not really. I mean, if you cut, you cut, and that's it. You know, if they can stop the bleeding, all well and good.
So round 6 coming up then of this scheduled 12 rounder for the WBO Intercontinental Cruiserweight Championship. Firat Arslan, the reigning and defending champion in the black shorts, on level terms now, I think, with his challenger Carlos Cruzat at 48 points each. And Alan and I have both been seeing this about the same. And a cracking crowd here. I don't know, between 4,000 and 5,000 people have turned up to watch this. And Arslan, nice tight guard, nothing really gets through there with any great force. Having said that, Cruzat actually has landed some pretty decent looking punches that have lacked any great snap.
That's right. I mean, I'm just watching now, Steve. Not once has the champion thrown a body shot. He's trying to throw a jab over the defence of Cruzat, but you know, struggling to get in. But I would like to see some lovely body shots being thrown in, which I think could hurt him and change the pattern of the fight completely.
Maybe the reason he's not doing it, Alan, is that you might remember a few rounds ago, Cruzat stood on the ropes, dropped his hand, said, "Here's my belly, hit it." And Arslan didn't take him up on the offer, so maybe he thinks, you know, the guy's not as soft as he looks.
No, and I'll tell you what, it surprised me by looking at him at the weigh-in to the way he's fighting now. He's not bad at all. But, you know, he hasn't got to go looking for the champion. The champion's on his toes all the time. And it's suiting him the way the champion's performing, and for Cruzat to land punches. He's enjoyed himself.
Absolutely right. And, well, Cruzat having his moments here in round 6, but overall, once again, it looks like Arslan has turned the corner and might edge this one. But having said that, he's still got over a minute to do it in. Long time, 3 minutes in a ring, isn't it? Especially when you're getting hit.
I mean, people don't realise. I've had people just shadow boxing in front of mirrors and for a minute and a half. And I'll tell you what, you know, when you're telling them what punches to throw and they've got to do it for a minute, after 35 seconds they've had enough. It's the hardest sport in the world.
I know the feeling.
You know, as you know, Steve. You know, there is nowhere to hide. You know, you can't pass the ball. You know. You're in it, and that's it.
Yeah,
you know,
when the bell goes, you're on your own, mate, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't hide behind the referee. You know, it's so lonely.
And that's why you've got to be exceptionally fit.
Mega.
Yeah, and you know, and you've got to look after yourself.
Yeah, if you're not fit, bye-bye. You know, it's a waste.
Well, you owe it to yourself and the sport, don't you?
That's right. I mean, you know, that's why, you know, I say to friends of mine, I've got a fight booked, and they say to me, "Alan, see you in 8 weeks' time," and that's it. I never seen anyone at all. But that's all you do is train, and as long as you're fit and well, you're happy.
Yeah. Anyway, a fairly close round coming to a close here, round 6.
Very, very close. Got to be an even round. Okay. Very close.
58 points apiece. So a bit of replay then from round 6. And by the way, the next time that you'll hear Alan and I together, we'll be commentating on the World Championship semi-finals and finals from Beijing. Next Saturday and Sunday, in fact, a very early start in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning UK time, because of course Beijing is that far ahead. So hopefully we'll have your company for the semi-finals and finals of the World Amateur Championships next Saturday and Sunday, when Alan and I will be working together again. So the halfway point coming up, they're round 7 of the scheduled 12, and I've got it 58. In fact, Alan and I agree, 58 points apiece, which means, of course, they're dead level. And this is a 6th round fight now from the 7th round onwards. Who's got most left in them? You've got to say, on appearance, that Cruzat is probably quite fortunate to have got this far, but he's actually not doing badly, Alan, is he?
Well, as you said, Steve, on appearance, but you know, never judge a book by its cover, as they say. I mean, and it's showing now that Cruzat, you know, he's still there. He still fancies it. He's moving around much better than he has in the other few rounds. You know, he's making it long, making it a little bit awkward for the champion, and I think that suits him. He's enjoyed it. You know, he's doing what he wants to do.
Yeah, he's a cagey old pro, isn't he?
Cagey, yeah, beautiful body shots when he wants to.
So Firat Arslan then, once again, walking in behind the jab there, as he's prone to do.
Yeah, he's just threw Arslan and just thrown a couple of beautiful 3 left hooks which landed on the chin of. But you just don't know which way it's going to go at the moment. It looks like the champion is gradually dominating the fight even more and looking like the champion.
Indeed. But one thing that you will have noticed, Alan, on Eurosport over the years, watching German boxing, very, very hard to get a result on German soil, just like it is to get a result anywhere, really. If you're not the flavour of the month, you're not the house fighter, you know, you've got to go above and beyond, haven't you?
Well, I've always said, you know, if you knock them out in Italy or knock them out in Germany, they'll either give it a draw or disqualify you.
Yeah.
You know, it's so difficult to get a result over there, especially against a German or against an Italian. But I'll tell you something, they love their sport, they love their boxing. I mean, I fought in Hamburg on the Muhammad Ali Richard Dunbill, Frank Riker. The crowd there was absolutely out of this world. We know that Ali was on the bill, but I boxed on other shows where the public turned up in thousands, you know, just to see normal amateur fighters or pro fighters.
Absolutely. Well, nice solid punches there once again from Arslan, but you know, you really can't, as Alan has said, discount this guy from Chile at any point. I don't think he's got the power to really hurt Arslan, but he's busy enough, isn't he, to give him a few things to work out.
Yeah, he's not, you know, when he gets caught by the champ, you know, there's no frustration in him. See, like now, you know, he just throws punches back and accurately as well. See, the champion, you know, he stands still all the time. You know, if he was to move around and jab and box behind the jab, I think you'll see a much bigger result with him.
Who'd you go for there? That was tight.
Yeah, I'll give it I'll give it to Cruzat.
Okay. So Cruzat then once again a point in front on Alan's card anyway, 68 to 67. I'm not going to argue. I thought Cruzat did quite a bit of useful work there. Not punching with the same authority as Arslan, who, by the way, strikes me as being... There's always something left behind, isn't there, from Arslan? You know, you think, God, this man's surely going to hit harder than this. And he doesn't really put a great deal in it, Alan.
Well, you know, you get some fighters when they, you know, when they're on top and then they're looking good, and you know, but the opponent's coming back, it tends to break their heart a bit. You know, you think, you know, you're throwing punches, the punches are landing, and when the challenger starts throwing them back and being very effective, it demoralises you.
Indeed it does, as we go into round 8, and Arslan, the pressure fighter in the black shorts, the reigning and defending champion, and you know, he's not getting away scot-free here by any means. He's having to take punches here, little combinations, but he's still, you know, personally I think he's still getting through the better looking punches.
He's boxing Arslan, boxing much better now. Throwing a nice jab, but it's not worrying. It's not worrying the other guy at all.
You're absolutely right, and you need to bother your opponent, don't you?
You need to, when you throw a jab and it hurts and it frustrates the other opponent, the challenger, but it's not frustrating him. Look, he's coming back under his own steam. Beautiful uppercut then, but it doesn't seem to bother him.
Absolutely. And that is a real. That must be preying on Arslan's mind as much as it is.
Well, it does
on Cruzat's.
Yeah, with it, you know, with any fighter, you know, if you throw your best punches and you're not getting any results, it's very upsetting. You know, all the time you see Arslan throwing jabs and nice jabs. But Cruzat coming back with no problem at all.
Absolutely. And he's actually having another lively round here, isn't he, Carlos Cruzat?
He's staying in the centre of the ring. He's just waiting for the champion to throw punches. As he gets close, he's opening up himself.
And no more trouble, by the way, from that cut by tie of Cruzat. One treatment in the corner. Oh, nice little right hook there from Arslan. And Turkey, of course, have had a very rich history of turning out some decent fighters, both amateur and professional. And long may they continue.
Yeah, Arslan's putting the punches together lovely now. He's connecting better than he has in the previous rounds.
Cruzat, not a particularly powerful individual, is he?
Well, no, but very effective because he puts his punches together. He throws combinations, not fast combinations, but he's there, he's in your face all the time. Whether it be body shots or head shots, he's there. You know, sort of fighter I would like to fight because you haven't got to go looking for him.
Yeah, sure. You know, and we're going to get 12 rounds out of this, aren't we?
Well, it looks that way. But I'll tell you something, Steve, it's an enjoyable contest.
It is, it really is.
It's very enjoyable.
It's a lot better than it probably should have been, on paper anyway. And I'm delighted.
You know, when you see these fighters of this class jabbing and moving and not getting their punches together, this is something special.
Absolutely. Well, I think they're around there for Arslan, don't you?
Without a doubt.
Once again, it's levelled it up. 77 points each. So a bit of replay there then, Arslan going forward. But there was a good spell, I thought, for Cruzat right at the end of that round. They put the shots together.
Again, you can't deny the guy, you know, and it's the same with both fighters. You know, one.
Métele uno en el medio de la barriga y tenemos. Te mete para el lado así, se la mete en el mismo, mira aquí, en el gut. Se va a caer. Vamos a regarnos. Vamos. Usted es un veterano. ¿Ah? Oh, dale en el mapa. Dale en el
So round 9 coming up of this scheduled dozen. I've got a feeling we're going to get 12 out of this. So this is round 9 then, and of a scheduled dozen. And Firat Arslan put the pressure on in the 8th round and won the round for me. And there was a bit of a flurry coming back from Carlos Cruzat towards the end of the round. But Alan, I think we're going to get a dozen rounds out of this, mate.
Well, I'll tell you something. You know, it's. I don't really want it to finish. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. You know, both trying very, very hard. You know, both fighting. Neither fighter is marked up. And.
Well, when you say that, I mean, Cruzat has got a cut on the right eyebrow.
Yeah, he's got a slight cut on the... Oh, did have a slight... Well, obviously, still got a cut on the right eyebrow, but it's not bleeding. It's giving him no problem at all. And it's a classic contest. It's what the crowd want to see.
And for Cruiserweight, it's not bad, is it?
It's very good. I mean, you know, they're throwing some beautiful punches, and it's non-stop. You know, it's non-stop all the way through. And this is what... people go to see boxing for.
Yes, absolutely right. And Alan's spot on with that analysis. You know, this has been a pretty hectic contest most of the way, and it's something I always thought. Oh, cruiserweights, they're dull, but I've seen some terrific cruiserweight contests in my time. I remember being in Paris on one occasion, watching Sergei Kobasev starting along with us against Marcelo Dominguez. A cracking fight. And a cruiserweight match. There are others, of course, I could mention, but we don't have the time here. But back to action in round 9. Alan, we know that Cruzat's not a come-forward kind of fighter with a big punch, but he's trying to push Arslan back here.
Well, I mean, he's been standing with Arslan from the first round to this round, getting results. Both fighters will be doing a similar type of job. Occasionally, it goes behind the jab and tries to get it a long distance. But the challenger comes in and it suits him. He's enjoying himself being close, throwing nice little punches, not hard work, but connecting and scoring points. It's very, very good to watch.
Absolutely right, and we've got a dead level as well. That's another sign, really. I mean, that shows you how entertaining this one has been.
Yeah.
Because we can't split them.
Can't split them. You know, one's doing one thing and the other one's coming back, equaling the round, and the round's so close you can't really pick a winner.
Well, we're counting down now, the last few seconds, around 9 of this scheduled 12, and another close round, Alan.
Yeah.
You can pick this one, mate.
Give me a couple of more seconds, Steve. Oh, here we go.
I'm going to go for Cruzat.
Yeah, I think you have. Yeah, I think.
Well, 87-86 then. We've had 9 rounds. We've got 3 to go. And this could be a 3-round contest with the winner still very much undecided at this stage. Arslan, well, you know, he did some good stuff, but I just thought there was slightly more coming back from Cruzat.
Yeah, it's a very, very strange fight, very, very strange contest. You know, as I said before, seeing them at the weigh-in, you could predict a winner, but never judge a book by its cover, as I said before. It's anybody's fight. I think that you know, for the winner and the new champion of the world, it's whoever wins this last 3 rounds, and I swear to you, or even if it's still close after the last 2, whoever wins the last round will deserve to become the new champion. Right,
well, at this point, we can't, Arslan can't afford to lose another round. He's 1 behind with 3 to play, and the best he can get if he does lose another round, in our opinion anyway, is a draw. Now, having said that, of course, what we don't do is we don't take the slightest bit of notice of what the ringside judges say or think. We make up our own minds, just like we hope you will at home. And, you know, if we think Arslan's lost, we'll say Arslan's lost. End of story. So, Carlos Cruzat from Chile, 36 years of age. But I tell you what, Alan, you could have fooled me.
Yep, he's got very nimble all of a sudden. He's on his toes.
He knows it's a 3-round fight, doesn't he?
That's right. I mean, see, as he gets nearer, with fighters, as he gets nearer to the end of the fight, they call him in and say to you, like, you can't be tired because there's only 1 more round to go.
Yes,
that's it, and that's it. And I mean, he's getting near to the end of the fight, and he's looking very nimble at the moment.
He is indeed. So Firat Arslan then, as I say, we've got him a point behind coming into this 10th round, and at the moment he's doing the meaningful scoring, isn't he?
Oh, like, you know, he's both fighters. I mean, neither man are tired. You know, it's always the same in boxing. You know, whoever wants to be the champion, it'll show within the next 2 rounds. You know, and even Kruzat, who's he started to go staying on his toes and boxing now. You know, he's tried both ways. He's tried staying close to the champion, and now he's on his back foot and see if he gets some results that way.
Right, still not having the best of success though, Alan. That said, you know, he's flicking and, you know, jabbing away, but not really getting through with anything meaningful. The best punches are actually coming from Arslan, aren't they?
Yeah, they are at this present time. Yeah, just as you spoke then, Steve. He's lovely jabs, and that's why he's the champion, I suppose. But then it's not the end of the fight yet.
No.
You know, it's anybody's fight at this stage.
I personally think that Arslan's the kind of guy who lacks a bit of self-confidence and self-belief.
Well, probably, yeah. I mean, it's his first defence against someone that's not someone that is a good boxer. So, you know, in your first defence, it does take it out of you a little bit because you're throwing punches as the champion, and a contender is still there hitting your back. It does upset you a little bit.
And he wants what you've got.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right.
Well, once again, a finish coming in here from Cruzat, but I don't think he's done quite enough in that round Arslan for me.
Yeah.
Arslan for you too, Alan.
Yeah.
Thank you. 96 points apiece. We've got 2 to go, and it's dead level.
Noch tiefer. Das ist noch eine Flasche. Das ist tiefer atmen. Noch tiefer atmen.
So there he is then, Firat Arslan. Just brought himself level with a couple of rounds to go. And as Alan said a bit earlier, a fascinating contest this one. And not really one that you'd have relished particularly, looking at the records and seeing at the weigh-in. But so there you go.
Bleib mit der Führhand mehr arbeiten. Jetzt einfach weghalten, grün einmal weghalten, der kommt gar nicht mehr auf dich zu. Kommt schon rein. Alles mit bloß die Führhand raus.
La boquilla. ¿Qué la tiene? La boquilla.
Penultimate round then, round 11 of the scheduled 12-round WBO Intercontinental title fight at Cruiserweight, and the reigning and defending champion Firat Arslan in the black shorts has got dead level, in my opinion, with Carlos Cruzat. So, how much does Arslan want to keep this championship, and how much does Cruzat want to take it off him?
Well, that's it. That's what it boils down to now, Steve. It's whoever wants it. As you said, whoever wants to keep it. I know when I'm in the British champion or European or whatever. I've trained. You've trained hard and you're 100% well, and hopefully you don't get an injury like a clash of heads, and you just pray and hope when you've trained right, you've lived right, and you just hope it goes well for you.
Do you think, Alan, if this had been 10 years ago and Cruzat was in better shape, he could nick this?
Obviously, I mean, it's like anything. It's like anything, Steve. 2 or 3 years ago, probably. He's got the experience. He knows how to throw punches. He knows how to cover up. Obviously, being that much younger and that much stronger and that much more wanting to be the champion, I think without a doubt.
Right, looks like they cherry-picked Cruzat at the right time then, but they're full credit here to Firat Arslan. No, he's not won it yet. I mean, we've got him dead level. But we never can tell. Like Alan said, in a boxing ring, things happen. Or was that me? Doesn't really matter. Well, once again, both lads.
Yeah, see.
They're going at it.
See, again, as them, lovely jabs, but then the challenger comes back on his own. Makes it very awkward. Closes the gap all the time. Closing the gap all the time. Won't let the champion take a big lead.
That's why this one's been so tough to score.
It's been hard to score. It's been very, very difficult to score. But the champion's throwing some lovely punches. But look at the challenger, still standing on his toes and throwing lovely, nicking the points, stealing the points.
Cool, stone me, Alan. Where would you go at this point? There's half a minute left in the 11th round.
Well, it's anybody's round again. I mean, beautiful punches from the challenger and vice versa for the champion.
What do you think about the idea of scoring a round in favour of the home fighter in the event of it being level?
Oh, I don't think it's right.
No, I don't either. No, apparently that goes on a lot now.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah,
especially in championship fights.
I suppose it always has, Steve. If it's close, it goes to the home...
That's completely wrong.
It's that bang out of order.
Level round?
Well, nothing in it again. You can say that the champion come out looking good. Nice jabs, nice left crosses, but the challenger's still there and doing his own work, closing the gap. Again, not a great deal in it.
Well, when was the last time you saw a 12-round fight and it was always all down to the last round?
Well, this is what it's. Well, it's very rare. It's very rare. Either there's an injury or the guy gets knocked out or something happens. But this has been a lovely fight, lovely contest to watch. Very difficult contest to score. But believe it or not, it is all on this last round.
Absolutely right. So like boxing then, the great thing about it is you just don't know.
No, you've got the public watching it, the mums and dads and the children watching on telly. They've got their own opinions. Hopefully, I'm not persuading you or guiding you, but there is nothing in the fight. It's all last round.
Absolutely. Here we go then, 12th and final round. Firat Arslan, the reigning and defending champion. How much does he want to keep this title? How much does Carlos Cruzat want to take it off him? Don't forget, he's come all the way from Chile for this opportunity. I personally don't think there's a chance in the world of Firat Arslan losing here, but you never can tell. As I say, we'll make up our own minds, and let's hope you do as well. We've never been swayed by officialdom in that particular arena. Fighters know when they're winning, Alan, don't they?
Well, some do. Yeah, they do and they don't. In a fight like this.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, some do and some don't. You know, I used to go to a fight, boxing, and you think, oh God, it's a little bit close this one. You don't, you know, sometimes you sit on the fence, and you don't really know. You don't really know. But this contest, you know, I think the champion will stay the champion. But it is, you know, or if it's a draw, the champion keeps the title.
Sure.
But it's that close.
Yes, it is a close one. I just hope that that's reflected in the official score.
I mean, the champion at the moment is coming out in the early rounds like he has done in the past 3 or 4 rounds and showing his domination and looking the part.
I think this is going to win it for him.
Yeah, but then the challenger does, like now, does come back with his own flurry of punches, closes the gap.
Yes, it has been terribly difficult to score.
Even now, look, the challenger, he's still there all the time. He took a lovely shot then, but he's hanging in there.
Absolutely right. Well, we've gone past the 1.5 minutes towards the end of the final round. And, well, Carlos Cruzat, I think he's done himself proud.
He's boxed very well, very well. You know, good luck to him. Obviously, he's trained hard. It's a 12-round fight, but both men are well and they're strong. Throwing punches right into the very last seconds of this contest. All due respect to them, absolutely beautiful. I've been thoroughly enjoyed it. It's the first time for a long time that I've seen a match that I really enjoyed, and I'll tell you what, it's gone very, very quickly.
Well done, mate. Appreciate you saying that. Well, we're in the last minute of the 12th and final round, and Carlos Cruzat is trying to fight back with every ounce of fitness in his body, but Arslan looks like he's just nicked this last round at the moment, Alan.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah, you got to, you know, obviously you got to give it to the champion, but bless him, the challenge, bless him really. He's given his all, and good luck, you know, good luck to him in the future and to the champion.
Bit of a last hurrah, though, I would expect for Cruzat.
Probably, but you know, he's there and he's still there. He's gritting his teeth, and beautiful,
cracking fight, and they both think they've won it. And you know, that was the kind of fight it was. Well, I got 116-115, which is 5 rounds to 4 and 3 even in favour of Firat Arslan, who I think is still the champion. But we'll have to wait and see. Cracking fight, Al.
Yeah.
I mean, you said everything that there is to say about it. Anyway,
you don't see, you don't see these fights too often. You know, either a guy gets knocked out or stopped on an injury. But this was credit. I mean, you know, I watch boxing all the time, as you know, and television. But I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It was one of those fights that you couldn't predict. You try to make a statement. We both tried to make a statement at the beginning on the condition of both fighters. One looked muscly, one didn't. But what it boils down to, Steve, both have got tremendous heart.
Absolutely. And
both have the will and the want to win.
Well, I tell you what, it's awfully close on my card and Alan's card as well. We've got it 116-115, which translates at 5. Let me just tell you how to translate it, by the way. Don't forget, you both start with 120 points. And, you know, you lose rounds as it goes. And we've got Arslan losing 4 of those rounds because he's got 116. We've got Cruzat losing 5 of them because he's got 115. And that only, of course, makes 9 rounds, but you've got to have 12, so the other 3 are level. And that's how you work it out, basically. Those that didn't know, some don't know. Those that do know think I'm trying to teach you to suck eggs. Forgive me for saying that, but, you know, there are people, Alan, aren't they, that haven't got a clue.
Well, you just educated me, Steve. I never do that.
I'll behave. Well, the crowd have been on their feet, haven't they?
Yeah, brilliant. Standing ovation for both of them. You know, it's said that there's going to be one winner, but that is sport for you. That is boxing. You know, I think the champion obviously keep the title because it's that close. They could give it a draw, maybe. But I think the champion has just nicked it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, just nicked it. Just done enough.
Well, hopefully very shortly we're getting the official verdict.
Noch einmal ein Riesenapplaus für beide Boxer und diesen wirklich tollen Kampf.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, brilliant.
Put your hands together for both lads. It's such a cracking fight. And she couldn't have been more right, could she?
No, I mean, it's
And when was the last time you saw this, Alan? Well, especially in the German boxing ring.
Yeah, it's very rare. It's very rare. You know, both fighters have trained hard. Here we go.
Here we go.
Gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Herbert Urich wertete 118 zu 110. Herbert
118,
Urich scored
110.
118 to 110.
That's terrible.
André van Grotenbroel wertete 120 zu 108. André
120,
van Grotenbroel
108.
scored 120
12 rounds to nil.
108. And Noel Monet wertete 118 zu 111. Noel Monet scored 118 to 111.
I know what's coming.
Sieger durch einstimmige Entscheidung. Winner by unanimous decision. Und damit
And still the champion, Firat Arslan gets the verdict on a unanimous decision. But I got to say, Alan, I'm appalled at those scores. One judge never gave a single round against Firat Arslan. The other two judges gave 2 rounds against him. They gave 9 rounds to 2 and 1 even.
Yeah.
And
Well, we weren't wrong, were we?
no way.
I don't think we were. I mean,
No, 116, 115.
Yeah,
We had it as close as a razor.
I mean, in that fight, you know, we're giving.
Gets that in a moment. Carry on, Alan. Sorry, you were saying.
No, I was saying, you know, maybe we were wrong.
No, we weren't.
I don't know. Maybe. But you know, the challenger was winning rounds. The champion was winning rounds. Some were so close you couldn't split them. But when they're given decisions, when the judges are going 112, 118 or whatever, you know, I can't fathom it out.
No.
But saying that, I must make a statement now.
Make it quick.
When I boxed for the middleweight championship of the world against Vito Anafermo, the American judge give it to Anafermo by 11 rounds.
Live and kicking this weekend on Eurosport. From Portugal, K1 kickboxing and free fighting in the Fight Club Super League. From Macau, they're wheel to wheel in the final round of the World Touring Car Championship. And from Denmark, the final throws from the women who know how in the Handball World Cup. The Fight Club Super League, the big World Touring Car Night and Women's Handball. This weekend, live on